it's Madam Berry. Welcome back to my art channel. Today, we're out of the studio. This is actually footage from a trip that I took back to my hometown a while ago to visit my parents. And as voted by my patrons, I'm talking about what I take traveling and how I paint on the go. To have a say on what videos I work on next, see the rest of my sketchbook, or have access to tons of other rewards, head over to my Patreon. And thank you to my current patrons for helping me make this video. I actually have a special offer going on right now where you can get an exclusive holographic sticker by signing up for any physical reward tier. This applies to new and current patrons, and the sticker won't be available after this offer ends, so get in while you can. First, let's talk about what art supplies I brought with me. I packed a bit less than usual this time since I was planning on heading to a local art store and I wanted room to bring some things back. But what I did end up bringing was a Strathmore 400 series watercolor travel sketchbook. It's about 5.5 by 8 inches and it's the perfect size for traveling, although the soft cover makes it a little less protective than I'd like. I brought a watercolor palette stuffed with a variety of brands of watercolor. The actual tin is a Prima marketing tin, and I love it because it's tiny enough for travel, but it has an open slot system so you can really jam a bunch of colors in there. You can buy palettes like this for less than $10 on Amazon, but I just used one that I already had and switched the colors out. I ended up using less than half the colors that I put into this palette, so maybe I should have been a little more selective with what I brought. I'll have the exact colors I selected in the description if you're curious, but the brands I selected were from Windsor & Newton Cotman, Jane Davenport, Prima Marketing, and 3 Paul Rubens metallics, which I sadly didn't touch. I also packed a few miscellaneous things I'd need, like a pencil and eraser, a tiny travel brush that actually fit inside of my palette, a tiny jar for holding paint water, a micron pen for writing or line art, a white gel pen for highlights, and a water brush, which is a paintbrush that holds water in a squeezable barrel so you can paint without needing a rinse jar. I actually used the water brush to paint in the car while my dad and I were waiting for my mom to stop antiquing. When you're painting on the go, keep in mind what's easiest and less messy to travel with, and what takes up the least amount of space. For instance, even though I took a jar for paint water, I could have done without it because I had the water brush. And bringing a small watercolor palette is much more compact than bringing, say, acrylics or a bunch of markers. Bring what you use the most, but pare it down to the essentials. You don't have to bring your whole studio. Heck, I even overpacked, given that I didn't touch half of the watercolors that I put in my palette. By the way, the actual subject of my painting is a faux African violet that my parents had in their guest bedroom. I was actually a bit scared to paint in this room because everything is antique, and I didn't want to accidentally spill or anything, so I was very careful. Thank you for watching! As always, make sure you're subscribed so that you can see when I upload, and check out my Patreon for that special offer. If you want to see one of my favorite watercolor papers that I use in my home studio, you can do so right here. Till next time, take care!